My name's Kelly Anderson, and we're out here in the weather, so just stay with us because we've got a lot of hot topics, one of which is the struggle of Ohio's children with their academics and their emotional intelligence here in the technological age. Stay tuned for more in a moment. Tom, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Kelly, for reporting this news this evening for our guest. Yes, our parents and kids are definitely in crisis, and we're so glad to have you here in the studio this evening to report on this special news. Back to you.
Good afternoon, good evening. We are really concerned here in Ohio about our youth. The state of affairs in Ohio regarding our youth and their education is devastating. Our youth are showing in every major city that they are really struggling with their educational demands. Our children have simply fallen behind. In today's news, we are going to address exactly how do you manage the battle between electronics and your child's emotional intelligence. And I'll let some of our parents tell you how they're managing through this struggle. Stay tuned. Towards the end, you will find the most beneficial things that you can do with your children today. Well, at my house, we work on vision boards. I don't know if y'all ever heard about vision boards, but we work on vision boards. And that's where I sit down with my kids and I say, let's get these magazines, let's cut some things out. And then we take those things we cut out and we put it on the board. And the goal is all these wonderful things that the children have found, they put it on the board. So anything they dreaming about, anything they emotional about, shoot, my son put on there, he wanted one of them gaming things, all the new games. Yes, baby. And my daughter, yeah, she had on there that she wanted to aspire to be a doctor. Now, through that whole thing, what I found out was what my children enjoy. And then my little baby, he put on there a big old sad face. And we was able to have the whole discussion about his emotions, how he feeling, what he thinking about. So you see, through that activity, I was able to learn more about my children. And then in turn, I'm able to support them in their goals in life. My baby want to be a doctor, I got you, we gonna be a doctor. My baby want to be a gamer, I got you, we about to be a gamer. My little baby all a little sad and hurt, his little feelings hurt. Well, through that, I found out he was struggling with some child at school. Yes, baby. And he wouldn't talk to me about that whole thing all week long. But let us do that activity. Bow. There he go. He got all kinds of things to say. There you go, folks. You've heard it from one of our parents. Very insightful and passionate explanation of one thing you can do with your children to make a difference. Let's see what other parents have to say. I'm a mom, and I'm really struggling. My kids are on those doggone cell phones and iPads and those doggone gaming systems. It's driving me crazy, y'all. They don't even talk to me anymore. They don't even talk to me. Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the proverbial horse's mouth. Well, look at that. We've been fortunate enough to find a young lady here right in our very own newsroom. She has a background in counseling and has been a life coach. She wants to share with you some of the things that she's learned working with her clients. Mrs. Anderson, thank you again so much for having me. Look, what I tell all of my parents, and hopefully your listeners will find this advice useful. Look, when interacting with children, there's nothing more important than giving them the opportunity to play. Now, I'm not talking about with video games or your cell phone or their cell phone or any of those devices. I mean good old-fashioned play. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I have a relatively large family. Okay, so you're not just coming from the life coach perspective. This is also coming from real life experience? Okay, that's nice. It was so nice this past weekend where we had the opportunity to watch these kids out running and playing tag and playing kickball and things of that sort. But the neat thing about that was watching them navigate through having disagreements. Now, unfortunately, with the pandemic, our children have had a couple of years now where they didn't have the opportunity to practice those skills. And conflict resolution is a very important skill to have and master. I loved one of your parents said something about a vision board, and that is so perfect. For all our listeners, why is that the perfect activity? Because that gives the opportunity for that child, without any parental distraction or any pressure of any sort, to be able to use their imagination. If you give them just simple rules like things that you want to be when you grow up, these are all goals. So things that you want or desire, things that you wish you could do or have, and just leave it open-ended and let them come up with their own board. You'll find out, what your child is dreaming about, what they don't like, what they do like. And through that, you can have a discussion with them about those things, and you can also figure out how to support them in achieving those goals. Or if you find that it's something that is destructive or could harm them, then that's an opportunity for you to teach. That's a non-threatening activity that you can do. The other thing is, because children learn through play and a board game or Lincoln Logs or Legos or Barbies, anything like that, where you're sitting on the floor with them and you're allowing them to play and act out different scenarios. If you watch what they're doing, you'll learn a lot about what's going on in their world. Like if all the pieces are fighting and whatnot, then you can talk to them about, are you having problems at school? How things going at school? Because maybe they're acting out things that they're seeing or things that are going on in their life. Okay, so you've spoken in great detail about what children can do to express themselves. I can't help but to wonder if you have any advice for all of our parents who are listening today. The other thing for my parents is I need you to be very mindful when you are interacting with your children. Like, one of the things that I'd like to tell them is, although your children are not responsible for your emotions or coddling you if you feel poorly or anything like that, what it is your responsibility to tell your child how you feel and what you need, because that gives you the opportunity to model then those types of behaviors you would like to see them do. So if you're feeling sad, you want to say, I'm feeling sad and I could really use a hug right now. And if your child's having a meltdown or they're happy or they're having any kind of emotion, you want to ask them how they're feeling right now and have them name that emotion and have them tell you what they need. It's just teaching them how to verbally express the emotions that they're having. Because if you don't teach them how to emotionally and verbally express how they're feeling, then they will physically act out. That would be, I guess, my biggest takeaway for today. Okay, so there you have it, parents. Spend time with your children, playing with them without the electronics. Secondly, parents, make sure that you yourself are expressing your emotions, that you are verbalizing what you need, because ultimately you need to model that kind of behavior that you ultimately want to see from them. Alrighty, I think we've got it. Be kind, be safe, and treat yourself kindly. My name is Kelly Anderson. I'm so glad to be with you today. And now we're on to the weather.